As far as mechanism of DNA synthesis is concerned, I have written it 4 steps. Instead of it, I have divided it into 5 steps. Okay, this is not 4 steps, this is 5 steps. Okay, now we can divide the DNA synthesis process into 5 steps. What are those? Initiation, then unwinding of helix and formation of replication fork, then formation of a primer strand, elongation of new strand, then 5th one is termination. You can divide it into 3 steps: initiation, elongation and termination also. Got it? Initiation, elongation and termination. You can include 1 and 2 under initiation step, then 3 and 4 under elongation step, and 5th one is the termination step. Okay, it's up to you. Now let us come to the initiation of replication. In case of prokaryotes, the origin of replication, that is where the replication begins, is actually a 245 base pair long DNA. We are talking about E. coli. Okay, in case of prokaryotes, the origin of replication is a 245 base pair long DNA sequence, and this is called ORI-C. Got it? This ORI-C serves as a binding site for various proteins required for DNA synthesis. So this origin of replication site, which is a 245 base pair long DNA sequence, actually acts as a binding site for various proteins so that DNA synthesis can be initiated. Okay. Now next come to the second one, formation of replication fork. So you know that for the DNA to synthesize a new DNA strand, it needs to get unwound so that the internal bases get exposed to replication enzymes. Got it? And this unwinding process is brought about by helicase enzyme. Okay. Now, as a result of which supercoils are formed, that I have already told you during the description of your enzymes. So, enzymes involved in replication process. So, this unwinding process that is brought about by helicase results in the formation of supercoils. Now, these supercoils have to be removed, because you know that this helicase cannot move if supercoils are formed. It is removed by topoisomerase. As a result of this helicase activity creates a Y-shaped replication fork. What is the structure of the replication fork? It looks like Y-shaped. Look, if it is the DNA, okay, so this particular part, they have been separated. The hydrogen bond have been broken by the activities of helicase enzyme. Got it? Now, once these single strands have been formed, here the single stranded binding proteins get attached to these your each strand. Okay, single stranded binding proteins. These are single stranded binding proteins. They get attached to these your each of the open strand. Got it? Now let us come to the next slide. Formation of a primer strand. I have already told you that DNA polymerase cannot initiate DNA synthesis. It requires something more. What is that? A short RNA fragment. That short RNA fragment is called as the primer, and it is synthesized by primase enzyme. Remember it, the DNA synthesis occurs in both the strands at the same time, but in an opposite direction. Okay. Now, primase synthesizes RNA primers in short segments in both the complementary strands, template strands, or both the template strands. The primer is a 10 to 60 nucleotide long RNA sequence. Okay. As the primase moves on a template, the SSBs get released. Okay, once the primase is formed and it moves in a template, the SSBs, they get released. Okay, SSBs means single stranded binding proteins. The next step is the elongation of new strand. Okay, After the formation of RNA primers, the DNA polymerase 3 adds the first nucleotide to the 3' OH end of the primer in both complementary strands. So, after the RNA primers have been formed, now the DNA polymerase can act. Now, it can add the first nucleotide to the 3' OH end of the primer. Okay, it can now add the first nucleotide to the 3' OH end of the primer. And remember, it occurs in both the complementary strands. So, two new strands are synthesized in a 5' to 3' dash direction. Okay. Now, two new strands have been formed. Okay. Now, as far as the two new strands are concerned, they move in opposite direction. Let me draw here. This one is 5' end, this one is 3' end. So, this will be 3' and this will be 5'. Now, as far as this particular strand is concerned, always remember that new DNA that is synthesized in a 5' to 3' direction. That means in this direction. Okay, 5' to 3' direction. Got it? Now, what about the other strand? Then this will move in this direction. Okay, so this will be 3' to 5'. Got it? So, remember that the strand that grows towards replication fork, the strand that is growing towards replication fork is synthesized in a continuous manner, and it is called leading strand. But the strand that is synthesized away from the replication fork is synthesized in a discontinuous manner, and it is called as the lagging strand. Let me draw here. Let me draw here first, then you will be able to know. Okay. So, this one is the strand 5', 3'. So, this will be 3' and 5'. So, you know that polymerase synthesizes DNA in a 5' to 3' direction. So, the new strand that is synthesized will also be synthesized in a 5' to 3' direction. Okay. Out of which this portion is, you know that the new DNA strand requires a primer, and this one is the primer. This one is the primer. Primer has 5' and 3' end. 3' end. To these 3' end, your new nucleotides have been added and they have moved in this direction. So, now the new DNA molecule formed is synthesized towards the replication fork. This is towards the replication fork. Got it? So, it is synthesized in a continuous manner. But in the opposite direction, in the other your strand, the DNA will also be synthesized in a 5' to 3' direction. So, it will be synthesized in this way. It will be synthesized in this way, in a fraction or in a fragment wise manner, because the strands do open from outside towards inner side. So, as it is synthesized, as this strand is synthesized, this new strand is synthesized in this direction. So, it will be synthesized in a continuous manner, but as the internal bases have been exposed. But in this strand, the internal bases are once only exposed when it is opened. So, it is opened in a phase wise manner. So, this particular strand is synthesized in form of fragments, and these fragments are called Okazaki fragments. Okay. Now, let us come to the original slide. Okay. So, the strand that grows towards replication fork, is synthesized in a continuous manner. Okay, and that is called as the leading strand. Whereas I have already told you why it is synthesized. Then the strand that grows away from the replication fork is synthesized in a discontinuous manner in form of short fragments, and that is called as the Okazaki fragments. And the strand is called lagging strand. Now, in case of lagging strand, the RNA primers are added in fragments, and the DNA polymerase adds deoxyribonucleotides to the 3'OH end. That I have already told you why that is formed in form of fragments. Lagging strand is formed in a discontinuous manner. Remember it, lagging strand is formed in a discontinuous manner. So now come to next part, that is termination. Now, in each primer, the 5' end is free. Obviously, the 5' end is free. Now, the polymerase 1 that digests the primer by 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. That means the primers are removed by the action of polymerase. Exonuclease activity of the polymerase 1. DNA polymerase 3 now adds deoxyribonucleotides to the 3'OH end of the primer, and DNA strand continues to grow. Okay. Once the 3'OH end of the growing DNA chain reaches the 5'P end of the previous chain, ligase seals it by forming a phosphodiester bond. Okay. So, DNA polymerase then, after the primers have been removed, DNA polymerase adds new deoxyribonucleotides, and in case of the Okazaki fragments, the new both Okazaki as well as the continuous segment where the primers have been removed, the the deoxyribonucleotides are added, and these are joined by means of phosphodiester bond through ligase enzyme. Okay. Now, let us see the diagram here. I have drawn it. As you can see here, this is one strand, that is 5' to 3', and this is the other strand, that is 3' to 5'. Okay. Now, here helicase enzyme is formed. Then topoisomerase enzyme, it removes the supercoils. As the helicase enzyme moves in this direction, the helicase enzyme moves in this direction. It has moved from this part to this part. Okay, in this direction, 5' to 3' direction. Now, as it moves, supercoils are formed ahead of it. So, these supercoils are formed by topoisomerase. Got it? Now, once the single strands have been formed, here single strand, here there is a single strand. So, new single strands have been formed. They are stabilized by the single stranded binding proteins. Okay, single stranded binding proteins. Now, let us come to this strand. In this case, once the SSBs have been added, now DNA polymerase 3 acts, and with the help of primer, it adds new deoxyribonucleotides, and the DNA strand grows continuously towards the replication fork. So, this is why this particular part, this particular segment is synthesized in a continuous manner. Here, this one is the RNA primer. Got it? This one is the RNA primer. Now, let us come to the other strand. Now, in this case, the lower strand, here also the DNA synthesis occurs, but from which part? Here, first this part is opened because it opens from this in this direction. So, first it is synthesized. For its synthesis, a new RNA primer is required. Here, the red colored is RNA primer. Remember it, red one is the RNA primer. Now, the RNA primer is synthesized. Once the RNA primer is synthesized, the DNA polymerase then adds new nucleotides, deoxyribonucleotides to the RNA primer. In this way, a short segment of RNA is synthesized. This one. Then this particular section gets opened. Got it? in this part, again an RNA primer is required because DNA synthesis cannot be initiated by polymerase 3 by itself. So, it requires another RNA primer. Okay. Now, to this RNA primer, new deoxyribonucleotides are added. Again, this particular section is opened. Now, the RNA primer again is formed, and deoxyribonucleotides are added to it. Again this part is formed. Okay, in this way all these are formed in a discontinuous manner. Look at it on the lower strand. Okay, all these are formed in a discontinuous manner, and this is called the Okazaki fragment. Now how they are made continuous? First the primer part, DNA polymerase 1 acts on the 5' end, because 5' end is free, as you can see, acts and removes it, and then here your DNA polymerase 3 then adds new nucleotides from the 3' OH end of the previous segment and attaches to the new one. So now a complete DNA strand is formed. Okay, now Okazaki fragments have been removed and a complete DNA strand is formed. Okay, in this way the new DNA molecule formed contains an old strand and a new strand. Okay, so I hope this video will be informative and will be helpful for you. We will again meet in another video lecture. Thank you.